move the mic way down, and others will have to move it way back up, but that's okay. We're so glad you could come tonight, and we appreciate certainly your support for this campaign. We embarked on this journey to raise sustaining funds for our healthcare programs here at WKCTC. About really almost 3 years ago, we started working on it. And in this public phase of the campaign, we kicked off 1 year ago. Many of you were here last October, and we're delighted that you're back tonight. Our purpose tonight is really to say thank you and to let you know about the progress and where we've come out. So we have some interesting speakers that I think you'll enjoy hearing from, and we will move right along to hear from them and look forward to presenting some recognition awards a little bit later in the program. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sherry Golson, who is the Dean of our Nursing and Allied Health Programs here, and I'd like for you to hear from Sherry now.
One of those that will have to tilt it up.
So thank you, Lee, and good evening, everyone. It is not a coincidence that we're celebrating the healthcare campaign this year, the 30-year anniversary of the dedication of the Allied Health Building. In 1992, it was two exceptional organizations, Paducah Community College and West Kentucky Technical College, and our regional healthcare community recognized the impact of nursing and allied health programs and collaborated on a dedicated building for these programs. Tonight, we continue that purposeful focus on supporting the programs that impact the healthcare of our community. The Allied Health and Nursing programs champion student success, and that success is reflected in higher than national average pass rates on certification and examination, higher than national average in program completion rates, and the majority of our programs consistently have 100% job placement rates. These significant measures of success could not be achieved without many of you in this room. We have students, you guys work tirelessly, incredibly hard balancing all of your responsibilities to reach your goals of becoming a healthcare provider. Faculty, you provide excellence in teaching and learning. College administration, your support of student success. And of equal importance is the collaboration of our healthcare community in the design and implementation of our curriculum and our clinical learning experiences. You are critical to the quality and success of our health programs through your active membership on our advisory committees, as well as welcoming us in your organizations for our clinical application. The advocacy and partnerships that we celebrate tonight will continue to ensure the very best healthcare education for WKCTC students and support the necessary high-quality healthcare workforce in our region. It is now my pleasure to introduce Lauren Carver. Lauren is a student in her second year of the Diagnostic Imaging program, or our Radiography program, and she is coming forward to share some of her experiences.
Good evening. I just wanted to start out by thanking everybody for their support and that we wouldn't be able to have the things that we have because of y'all. So I just want to thank y'all. I'll start out by telling a little bit about myself. Like she said, my name's Lauren Carver. I'm from Benton, Kentucky, and I'm a second-year radiography student. I graduated from high school in 2017 and received an athletic scholarship to play softball in Illinois. I moved to Illinois for 2 years and struggled to decide on my major. It was a challenge between keeping my grades up, playing 60-plus softball games in the spring to make sure I'm taking the right classes. I was determined on studying nursing and working in the NICU, but I always just had a weird feeling about it. The coursework I needed didn't work with my softball schedule, so I graduated in May of 2019 with my associate's in arts degree, but didn't know where to go from there. I ended up talking to my mom and granddad about what I might be interested in, and they both brought up radiography. So I looked into the program at WKCTC and figured out what classes I needed to take before I applied to the program. I completed all the classes that were required, and I applied for the program in May of 2020. I got an email in June saying I was an alternate and I'd been accepted into the program. So of course I accepted the position and would start the program August 2020, or so I thought. I only needed to take one more class before I started the program, so I decided to take it online and ended up encountering an obstacle and didn't earn the required grade. I was very upset, mad, and discouraged at myself. It was very difficult to tell my family that I would not be starting the program in August, and I would have to wait a whole nother year to apply for the program. But instead of giving up, trying to figure out something else to major in, I took the class again, in person this time, and completed the class with flying colors. I was determined to get back into the X-ray program, and I was going to do everything that I personally could to make sure I got in. So in May of 2021, I received my acceptance letter for X-ray program, and while I waited to start the program, I was working 5 jobs over the summer to make sure I had enough money saved so I could put all my focus in completing this program. All my hard work had paid off, and I couldn't wait to start this next chapter in my life. So with all that being said, I would not have had the opportunity for a career in radiography if it wasn't for the program at West Kentucky. And from the first time I walked in class, I've always felt welcomed in this school, and I'm very thankful for faculty that want students to succeed. The coursework, the lab practice, and clinical experiences are preparing me to excel in the workforce upon graduation. I truly believe that God put me on this earth to help people and to bring light into their lives, and WKCTC has provided me with the opportunity. I've been blessed by developing friendships that will last a lifetime, and I'm thankful for every person that I've met in this journey thus far. The last thing I will say is that I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for God and my family, and I can't thank them enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, for that, a perfect illustration of our partnerships that we're here to celebrate tonight. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of West Kentucky Community and Technical College, Dr. Anton Rees.
Good afternoon, everyone, and let me also echo my welcome. This is indeed a historic day, and as Lee mentioned, certainly over several years in the making until we got to the public portion of it this past year. As we reflect back, I believe that part of the catalyst with this campaign was the realization that we always knew the importance of the nursing and allied health professions, but certainly with all things COVID, I believe that a heightened sense of awareness was clearly elevated, but it also elevated the need to be able to meet all the needs throughout our region. As I listened to Lauren, who I met earlier today, and she told me she was going to be graduating in May, so I'm going to hold you to that as you come across that stage. I remember a funny story that I shared with Dean Golson. This was back in the spring when I went to get my booster shot, and it was a nursing student. And she recognized me, and, as well-trained, she had that shot ready, and she said, Dr. Rees, so do you think we'll be back in person in the fall? And before I could even finish the thought, she stuck that thing. I was like, yes! So our students are well-trained. And if you're like me, it is hard to go in any entity, dentistry, radiography, any of the hospitals, nursing homes, etc., without seeing a student pretty much with our fingerprints. So that is huge, and that's incredible. We are very thankful, and we definitely want to celebrate really each and every one of you. The 75 donors, and we'll be definitely presenting there as well too. That is absolutely huge, and we'll be doing that momentarily. And we'll be doing it then in increments by way of giving, and Lee is going to guide us in that effort. Then I'll have some comments as well along the way. But as always, again, we take nothing for granted. This is really an incredible, memorable moment as we celebrate National Health Awareness Week. And stay tuned, more to come.
Thank you, Dr. Rees. So I want to point out on the back of your program, we have all the campaign donors listed. And We had some plans that aren't exactly going to happen tonight. You may have heard some issues about supply chain issues recently. A couple things that we had hoped to have ready tonight are not ready, but we will be presenting awards, and in the next few months, we'll actually be mounting nameplates for those donors who gave at levels that allow them to have their name placed outside a classroom or laboratory or study lounge. And I'm not able to show those tonight because they aren't quite ready. We also, something that we did not plan on having ready tonight, but we will have ready in 2023, is a large donor appreciation wall that will be in the entryway when you enter the building here through the main entry. We certainly want to recognize the wonderful support for this campaign, and so there will be a nice donor appreciation wall that will be built and assembled during 2023. So tonight, we want to bring recognition to the generosity of many of you in this room, and many we know were not able to be here tonight, but we do want to give our thanks and recognition. On the back of your program, all of the donors to this specific campaign are listed. The campaign supporting gifts, down in the last half of the page, we thank those donors. We give them our appreciation. It takes a village, and so it took many donors to get us to that number of 75 total donors. So we do call your attention to those donors, but then we also want to look up to the gifts of $1,000 or greater. We do have some recognition awards within that category, and those individuals will be included on the donor appreciation wall that I talked about that will be mounted in the entryway. So with Dr. Risa's help, and I also want to ask the advancement staff to come forward. Karen Brown, Roberta Jackson, and Kyle Fisher. You won't hear a lot from them or about them always, but they certainly have been working behind the scenes this whole time on this campaign, and I really appreciate all their efforts to make this possible and successful. So they're going, thank you. So they're going to help Dr. Reese and I so that hopefully we don't mess it up. Right. First, I want to mention Chris and Nancy Black. They're not able to be here tonight. They have a little thing going on this weekend called the wedding of their daughter. And so they have a lot going on and weren't able to be here, but we appreciate Chris and Nancy's support. George and Angela Bray. Are you here, George? George Bray? Is somebody pointing? I don't know, maybe he's in there with the simulation lab, I don't know. George? Come on up if you can, George. We have a little plaque of appreciation for you and Angela for your contribution to the campaign. It looks to us like you're just in time, actually.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, sir.
We appreciate your support. Go ahead and take a breath and get something to eat and drink and enjoy yourself. Next, John and Patricia Carrico. John, if you would come forward, please. Thank you for your work on the campaign and for your personal support. Thank you so much. Mary and David Carrico. And their campaign support is specifically in honor of Mary's mother, Dr. Jack Cody. Father, Dr. Jack Cody. thank you so much for your support. Kathy Crecilius. Did Kathy make it this evening? I don't think Kathy made it, but we appreciate her support. And Lonnie Crowdus wasn't able to make it, but Crowdus Maintenance and Cleaning, we certainly appreciate their support. David and Peggy Culbertson. Did David make it this evening? Okay. And Marcia and Alberta Davis, and I don't think they were able to make it either. Nancy Duff, if you would come forward, please. We certainly appreciate your support, Nancy. Sherry and Brad Golson. Come back up, Sherry. Thank you for not only all of your work, but your personal support.
And you too, Sherry.
Connie and Larry Heflin. We appreciate their support. Charles or Chuck and Ellen Murphy. Did Chuck make it this evening? PFGW Architects. We appreciate their support and that of Paducah McCracken County NAACP. Carolyn and David Perry, please come forward. Again, we appreciate your work on the campaign and your personal support. Miss Kathy Purcell, where did you get to, Kathy? There you are. And there's a little bit more of a story. Kathy was one of the very earliest supporters to this campaign. She and I talked about 4 years ago, and she is a nursing graduate, had a career as a nurse, and was very interested when I talked about this campaign. We were just beginning to plan, and so she was a founding contributor and has repeated support, and we certainly appreciate your generosity, Kathy. Lorraine Schramke. I know Lorraine was planning to be here, but did she make it? Did not make it. U.S. Bank Foundation. We appreciate their support and that of Barbara and Richard Veazey. Susan and Bob Walker. And then I also wanted to, did Mrs. Reese make it?
She's still training.
Okay. Both Dr. Reese and I were able to make commitments, and so we do have plaques for us as well. So. And if Mrs. Reese was here, we were going to present their plaque to her, but she wasn't able to make it. But thank you all so very much for that wonderful support. Again, that category of at least $1,000 all the way up to just under $25,000. So that generosity is phenomenal, and we appreciate it so very much. We next want to move to real major gifts for the campaign. We're fortunate that we had a leading gift through philanthropist Mackenzie Scott, the National Philanthropic Trust, that allowed us to really have our leading gift for the campaign. And we are also very fortunate that Paducah Junior College Foundation agreed to match a portion of funds raised. So we'll begin. Chris Black, again, chair of PJC Foundation, couldn't be here tonight, but how many PJC Foundation board members do we have? If you all would stand, just go ahead and stand. The Anns and the mayor. Anyone else? Well, we'll ask the three of you to come up. And Dr. Reese, you need to move to this side now. And Kyle will help out. But we just want to present Paducah Junior College Foundation with the plaque marking the support, the great support from the foundation. The foundation board does a great deal of work in support of the college. And Miss Ann Denton, you can actually just walk back up because we give great thanks to David and Ann Denton for one of the major gifts, and they will have room naming rights, and the plaque there has the classroom that will have their name associated with it as the physical therapy assistant classroom. Thank you so much, Ann, to you and David. F&B Bank, where are you, Ike? All right. F&B Bank has the conference room down here. The Allied Health Building conference room will have a commemorative plaque with their name as contributors and supporters of the campaign. Thank you so much. Baptist Health Paducah. Would some of you, Mr. Boyd, come on up? Anyone else can come with you? We've had a wonderful... That's right. Moral support. We've had a wonderful relationship with Baptist Health. Yeah, all right, great. There we have it. Yes, have some diversity in there, male and female. But we certainly appreciate the longtime support from Baptist Health Paducah. And Ann and Jim Gwynn, if you would come forward, please. And we thank you for all of your work on the campaign and for your personal support. And James and Margaret Hawkins, I'm not sure they were able to make it this evening, but we appreciate their very generous support. Also, Dr. Charles and Linda Shields, and I don't believe they made it this evening, but we appreciate their very generous support for the campaign. Mercy Health Lourdes Hospital. Would you all come forward, please? We have a wonderful relationship with Mercy Health Lourdes Hospital and appreciate the great support through many years that we've received from Mercy Lourdes. Thank you all so much for your support. Dr. Richard and Lee Smith, would you come forward, please? We appreciate your work on the campaign and your personal support. Okay. Did Mr. Ken Wheeler make it this evening? He was planning to, but I don't think I've seen him. But we appreciate Mr. Wheeler's support, Ken Wheeler. Paducah Bank, if you would come forward, please, Susan, and if anyone else is with you. Craig, you can come if you want. Maybe not Paducah Bank exactly, but Paducah Bank was very generous, an early committer, and just gave wonderfully generous support for the campaign, and we're so appreciative. Thank you, Susan. And we want to move to a donor who really gave kind of not only once but twice, 2 commitments, both a personal commitment and then another commitment through a previous foundation of her late husband. Dr. Sharon Butler, would you come forward, please? We appreciate your generosity and your tremendous support so very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Butler. And the Merle Fowler Family Fund. So, Ann, I think that you need to come forward again to accept this. Nancy didn't make it, did she, your sister? So we're very appreciative of the support from the Fowler Family Fund. Thank you. Let's give a tremendous round of applause for all of those honorees. Thank you so much. And certainly the campaign would not have been possible without a lot of work from a lot of people. And Dr. Reese will ask the co-chairs, introduce them and ask them to come speak.
Thanks, Lee. I cannot express my appreciation enough. As you know, when you're doing campaigns, you look far and wide but real specific. And these 2 co-chairs, Dr. Gwynn, Dr. Smith, I cannot, again, thank you enough on behalf of the entire WKCTC family. Your willingness to serve in this capacity, certainly as distinguished healthcare providers, professionals, to head this campaign and the success thereof. Please join me at the podium, and we'd love to hear some comments and remarks from you both. Please welcome our co-chairs, Dr. Gwynn and Dr. Smith.
Well, I'm speechless. The success of this operation really has to do with all of you all, and it's certainly been a pleasure and a blessing to be part of it. We want to thank all of you for your coming to celebrate the success of the Healthcare Counts campaign here at WKCTC. We have learned that Kentucky, over the next 5 years, will need 5,000 additional nurses, registered nurses, as well as allied health personnel. That's because of the aging of our population, current speaker included. Thanks again of all of our dedicated staff at the hospitals, medical staff, the community college, and you. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for your outstanding generosity. We are so grateful for your gift of time and your participation in this celebration. I'm reminded that no gift is too large and no gift is too small, but we can use whatever you can give us. It's been a real honor and pleasure to work on this committee with Dr. Reese and Lee and other support staff who were invaluable to this effort. It is my opportunity to introduce the members, the volunteer members of the committee. And as I call your name, would you please come forward and remain for a presentation to follow this? So, Mr. John Kirko, Ann Gwynn, Carolyn Perry, and John Williams. He's busy being grandfather of the bride. Who did I forget? Well,
So,
good.
Now, we are going to ask all of you to move down here with Dr. Reese and myself. Not yet. This is the moment, perhaps the biggest moment of the campaign. This is the unveiling of the total amount raised. We set a goal of $3 million when we began this, and now we just need a drum roll, I think. Come on down here, Dr. Gwynn. Dr. Gwynn, come down here. You all come a little closer, gather around, and we're going to raise this.
Gently touch the hem.
We don't want to rub it off.
Ta-da!
I'm assuming you can read the numbers, but just in case you didn't see it, $3,607,883.58 is the amount raised.
We have gifts.
Thank you all so much. And now Dr. Reese would like to present just a small gift to the volunteer campaign committee for giving of their time to make all of this possible.
Start first with you.
Co-chairs Dr. Gwynn and Dr. Smith. Thank you so very much.
By the way, these are healthcare gift cards to both Mercy and Baptist Health. Because I know you're wondering. Is that it?
Yeah, John's. That's John's. He's not here. Thank you all so much. And Dr. Reese will give some closing remarks. And we do still have food and drink that you're welcome to partake in too. Dr. Reese?
Well, thank you, Lee. As you can imagine, as part of my closing remarks, though, it is bittersweet. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, both the leadership involved in coordinating this campaign was led by our own Lee Emmons. Lee has wrapped up her tour. This is actually her last event. I know that she has, what's the word I'm looking for? What was that? No, we're not going to do that. As she transitioned to do some great philanthropic work with the University of Kentucky, but I definitely, on behalf of the college, your peers, and all the committee members, thank you so much for making this happen, pulling it together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So as we close, again, this really is a very pivotal, very historic moment as we celebrate the significance and the importance of healthcare. Certainly, as part of when we close, we want to be sure you get an opportunity to visit some of the rooms, some of the labs. We'll have students positioned to do that. Again, as we look at our students, we know that when all is said and done, it's our ability to be able to produce world-class students to serve throughout this region and certainly support all of our healthcare partners and stakeholders as well. Again, to the committee, thank you so much. This certainly would not have happened without your support. All of our 75 donors, again, thank you so much. It really, really is a heartfelt appreciation. You know, next year, the tease is we have a naming opportunity coming next year, so stay tuned. Be sure you come back. Also, as Lee mentioned, the various plaques, donor walls, that will be completed by then as well. So definitely want to encourage everyone to come back and to be part of that as well, too. I think we're also going to do some photographs, Kathy, with all of the recipients right here at the front as well, too. So again, as I close, there's the adage that goes, it takes a village. The question becomes, how do you raise a healthy village? It takes individuals collectively and individually in the healthcare profession to ensure that we have a healthy village. And so this support, this donation, this campaign is that shot in the arm, pun intended, to lift us to continue to do the great work that we do here at WKCTC. So with that, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.